Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Wednesday, June 29th, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. We have quite an interesting time for change call tonight at 9 p.m. Many things are coming. So, and I'm not talking about doom and gloom. And that kind of flows into our attitudes going into this meditation, which is the secret to becoming unstoppable. It's the repetition of affirmations that leads to belief. It's repetition on anything. I think we all know that. And in the beginning, some people have repetition and it's short, right? And, I'm not going to do this anymore. It's not doing anything, right? So the ego mind kicks in, negates it, and then the pessimism comes in, and so you stop doing it. But repetition literally leads to belief. And once that belief becomes a deep conviction, things begin to happen every single time. Claude M. Bristol said that. The major difference between people who effortlessly sail across the globe, manifesting all their dreams, and there are people like this, and those who never manage to get out of the harbor lies in one thing: their attitude. There are people who simply give up on their life dream when they encounter their first difficulty or obstacle. They don't believe in themselves and have fallen prey to the I give up syndrome. I think we've all done that, haven't we? You know, where you finally just say, the heck with it, right? There are those who don't know the meaning of giving up and find themselves naturally being successful at life. Even when they lose, they are never defeated because they have adopted an unstoppable attitude about this life. Does this sound like a quality that you would like more of in your life? If you said a huge yes, then I will share with you some things. If you're not sure, well, you start with taking a long walk outside tonight, completely naked, and ponder on who the heck is in charge of your life. If you're not sure. Anytime you are viewing a difficulty as a roadblock in this life, shake your entire body and start focusing on where and how you can see it as an opportunity. Don't ever let the feeling of being blocked by life enter into your body. Don't ever let the feeling of being blocked by life enter into your body, ever. Shake it out the instant it tries to creep in. You can transform any problem into something that supports you by merely shifting your perspective. You know, have you ever said to yourself, I never looked at it that way? That's a different perspective. We all have the power to make solving problems fun. For instance, you can get together with some friends and have a potluck brainstorming evening, or you could call an old friend and probe their mind for new ideas. Let them think about it. Or you could set the intention of receiving the answer in a dream. Whenever you start feeling blocked, remember that there is always a solution waiting to be discovered. You may just need to step out of your comfort zone a few inches so other people can help you discover it. The feeling of being unstoppable resides naturally in our connection with our souls. When we meditate on our infinite nature, or simply relax into the place inside that is empty of thought, we will find a surge of energy rise inside. The truth is that we already are unstoppable at manifesting whatever we put our attention on, as long as we are putting our attention on what we want instead of what we don't want. How many in this country do you honestly believe, right this now, are focused on which one of those? Do you believe that they are focused, that they're putting their attention on what they don't want instead of what they do want? It's easy to do. True confidence in this life doesn't come from overpowering others or even weaker parts of yourself. It comes from being connected to a deep resource of inner peace. This is the source of where true unstoppability is found. When we are truly in a pickle in our lives, one of the most powerful things that we can do is to ask the universe for help. When we are truly in a pickle in our lives, one of the most powerful things that we can do is to ask the universe for help. The universe is very magical and happy to help any of us overcome any obstacle that we might encounter. This old intelligent universe is always here listening, waiting to offer its unlimited supply of gifts and services to each of us. It, in fact, is the only thing that has allowed us to manifest all our desires in the first place. And it's just waiting for us to ask for more help. Once you send out a strong request from the heart mind to the universe, to this universe, and can wait with infinite patience, that's crucial. You can wait with infinite patience. Your request will soon be answered. With the universe on your team, how can you feel anything less than unstoppable? So you can pick this up anytime to start your unstoppable week. Begin each day off with a bang by proclaiming to the entire universe every morning that you are unstoppable. And the key here is projected from the heart mind, not the ego mind. Because ego mind will mess with that. Okay? Claim it, and remember, whatever you focus on is what will grow in your life. So why not create the routine of feeling unstoppable? Practice saying the affirmation out loud to yourself. I am unstoppable, with a strong conviction in your voice, and feel that it is true inside your heart, not your head. Say it like you really mean it at least 5 times each morning when you first look in the mirror. And then thank the universe for supporting you with this feeling of unstoppability today. And be grateful for its power to help you manifest whatever you set your mind to achieving. In addition, you can ask for extra assistance this week by writing a letter to the universe, describing in detail what you truly need. Finish your letter by saying, thank you, universe, for providing me with these needs. Go into a meditative state. Connect directly with the conscious intelligence of this universe, asking for any guidance or help in receiving these needs. Complete each morning with the feeling that the universe is now supporting you. Repeat the affirmation that I am completely supported by the universe, and it's providing all of my needs with joy and ease. I am completely supported by the universe, and it's providing all of my needs with joy and ease. Let this information sink deeply into the marrow of your bones. Reread your letter every evening. And then the following morning, repeat the entire ritual. Allow yourself to feel the divine intelligence is here, giving you true universal support with each new day. So we all have this. When you have it through the heart mind, it's a huge difference than the ego mind. Ego mind will mess with it. Okay? The ego mind, you'll start having doubts, fears, worries, stresses. You'll start dissecting and analyzing. And then it'll start convincing you that, this is a waste of time. This is silly, writing a letter to the universe and telling it what I want. This is all just crap. Don't even pay any attention to it. Okay? And then all that negative energy negates it, stops it. Okay? And then we're thrusted into a worrisome situation, and then our vibrational frequency is lowered, and then we attract more of the same. But see, becoming a knowing and then practicing through the heart mind, because you know where you're at when you drop into the heart mind. You feel it. You feel you're focused on the heart, right? You're not focused on the mind, on the ego mind. You're focused on the heart, which, by the way, is much more powerful than the ego mind. And you're in the now. So when you begin to practice this, you start to form a bond with the heart mind. And the ego mind becomes more and more distant with you. Not that it's gone, right? We know it's an illusion, but it's still there. And it will try to ambush you and pull you out of that. But this is our focus, to understand that every one of us, not these bodies, but the God within it, we have the power, right in this now, to create anything we desire. We really do. It's not a joke. It's not some wishful thinking. It's the real deal. And it's so easy for any of us to slip into the ego mind, isn't it? It's like this is natural, and we're lulled into stepping into that. But see, this is where you can develop by being in the heart mind so much that when you do taste a little bit of the ego mind come in, it will almost be like, right? You're walking barefooted and you step into a fresh, steaming cow pie. And what your reaction is to that? That's how your reaction is with the ego mind. You step into that cow pie barefooted and you get all that all over your foot. And you have a grimace look on your face. And you're disgusted, right? That's how you can get to the point with the ego mind. Then that takes you into the now. See? That's why in these meditations, we go to a place where we're not going to be interrupted, which I'm sure that we all are, and we relax the body. Now, a lot of people have tried to relax the body, all kinds of ways, right? This is the only way, is focusing on the breath. You listen to your breath. You're in the now. If you're focused on your breath, when you're focused on your breath, you're in the now. That's not difficult to understand. It's very simple. So the breath, easy and slowly in through the nose and easy and slowly out through the mouth, and continual focus on the breath, listening to the breath, will relax the body that you're in. Because you're not the body, we know that. You're not the character, the personality, the name. You're not your status in this life. You're the God within that body. So what we do is when we focus on our breath, the body kind of, the shoulders drop, The body goes into relaxation. There's a lot of things we store in the body. We don't know it. It's not like, oh, well, I got to get rid of this. I got too much stored here. And I learned that years ago when I was a massage therapist. I knew that. I discovered how men and women carry their stress, worry, anxiety, and fear, remorse, sorrowfulness, depression in their body. They carry it. And it is not, like I said, it's not like they are aware of it. And the body is like this superhuman sponge, and it absorbs all of it. And it stores it in the shoulders, and it stores it in the muscles and the bones and different parts of the body. And it's subtle, because through the years, with a lot of us, it causes biological malfunctions with our bodies. And we don't correlate that. We just say, oh, well, I've got this going on or that going on. But it is accumulation of these emotions that start to break down the biological tissue in our bodies, and then we start having biological issues. So, now to know that and to understand it, it's like it's never too late. I'll put it that way. So when you discover that, you begin to surrender a lot of these things that you've acquired through your life that you have stored. Maybe carrying a grudge, being vengeful, being angry or upset with how you were treated or raised or whatever. These are all things that we carry. And we carry them, and as time goes by, the body lets you know, I don't care to have this anymore. I've been carrying it for years. And why do we do that? Because of the ego mind. We're so ensconced with the ego mind, and we don't know that. And so the ego mind is very combative. It's very progressive. It will argue the fact that you're carrying these things. It will literally argue that fact. And get an argument with you. I'm not carrying anything. I got rid of all my stuff. And yet, you have it all. You ever felt heavy? I mean, have you ever gone, where you're walking and you just feel heavy, like you're carrying extra weight, and you're not overweight or anything. You feel like you're carrying extra weight. And it feels like this pressure on your shoulders is pushing you down. You ever done that? It feels like your shoulders it feels like your whole body's being pressured down. Or you have a ball and chain around your ankles sometimes. And then you say to yourself, man, I would just love to feel as light as a feather. Just now, right? Just for now. And so we address it, and we focus on the breath, and we don't run from things. We face them. So we sit with them. We say, okay, so why do I have this worry? Why am I stressing about this? Let's look at it deeply. Let's evaluate it. Right? You'd be surprised what happens. And so, as we practice that, we release things. We release our pains and anxieties and pressures and tensions and fears. And the body becomes light, at ease. That's the whole purpose, to keep the body at ease. And by staying in the now and listening to the breath, that can be accomplished. Now, the ego mind's always there. It's always trying to say, get out of there. Why are you in there? Why are you in the now? The future, tomorrow, yesterday's a lot more fun. Come on. What's wrong with you? Why are you staying in the now? It's boring. So what happens, right, is that you begin to practice more and more in the now, and you begin to like it more and more. It's not that uncomfortable. And it's not that difficult as it was. And as you continue to focus on the breath, because the breath is the now, you begin to understand about who and what you are in that body. Now, we all put out, each of us, every day, over 60,000 thoughts apiece. We know every single thought we're putting out. It's like Buddha has said so many times, master your thoughts. Not only that, we have all of these, they seem to be thoughts, but they're actually programs. Tens of millions and billions of them fly by like clouds in the sky all the time, nonstop. 99.999% of these are not ours. So what happens is that you're in the now, right? Focus on your breath. And then you float off. And we all do it. You float off on one of those passing by programs. Now, this is when we focus on the fact of being gentle, kind, generous, humble with ourselves. And to be in the highest of the highest high, and the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. And this is something that's just a vibrational frequency. It lifts us. It increases our vibrational frequency. By being in the now, focusing on the breath, and practicing for yourself, for you, these habits. All this is about is raising your vibrational frequency through your own intention. And a lot of people say, well, there's a lot of stuff to practice. This is about our journey within and discovering once and for all who we are, what we are in these bodies. That opens up a whole new existence for all of us. So every time you float away, all you do is focus on the breath, and 3,000% of the time you're in the now. Right? You have stilled the ego mind, which means you've left it alone. In the subconscious mind, which means you've left it alone. So you're no longer engaging in them. You're watching them. You're outside, and you're watching. You're not judging. You're watching to see how they operate. And this is how we learn how to master them. It's the only way. And slowly but surely we begin to master them because we know what they're doing. It's like you could be in the middle of a conversation and then a thought arises. And it's ego. You immediately identify it. That's an ego thought. I'm not interested in that. And it fades, right? And then you'll be in a situation or something, you start feeling an ego bubbling up from within. And that's ego influence. I'm not interested in entertaining that. And it fades, see? But most of us, the ego comes in and just basically carries us away. And we all of us, every species, every civilization, has this ego mind. Has it. Right? And this is part of our journey within, see, is to master the ego mind. Because every time we enter a physical form, right, these bodies, for instance, that's what we are greeted with. Ego mind, subconscious mind. And we either learn in this lifetime or many lifetimes from now, how to master it by going within. Now picture, we're all standing in front of three paths, right? And all of us are in the center path in this moment, in this now. We're in the now, focusing on our breath. Now, we look to the left and we see yesterday. And we look to the right and we see tomorrow. They're very enticing, each of them. And we see that the trees have formed a golden canopy over each one of these three paths. And the leaves, the branches, and the bark's all shimmering gold. And then we see the path itself, which is a vibrant emerald green flaming grass. It appears to be grass. And it's a form of energy. Now, we look at those paths, the one on the left, one on the right, yesterday, tomorrow. And they're really worn. They've been used. We know they've been used a lot. Now, the one in the center, the now, it looks almost brand new. And we know why. Because the ego mind does not exist in the now. It doesn't. Now, do you think that the ego mind is just going to sit there and go, okay, fine? No. It's going to do everything it can to keep you yesterday, tomorrow, tomorrow, yesterday, yesterday, tomorrow. Now, we all do visit yesterday, the past. And sometimes we'll have these memories come in, right? Where you did something years ago or a while ago, and it was so fun, you really enjoyed it, and you just kind of embrace it, and you enjoy it. Boy, that was really fun. I'd love to do that again. And we also use as reference for some of the things that we did that didn't work out. You know, some of the things we experienced is, well, I tried it that way, it didn't work. Maybe I'll try it a different way, see if that works. We call it the Great Hall. And it's filled with endless resources. Everything. See, because the subconscious mind, it's a supercharged recorder. And the subconscious mind records everything from the time you enter that baby body to now and beyond. It not only with you while in that body, right, and what that body experiences, but everything else, all those around you, different instances, different happenings. And it stores it, right, in the Great Hall. Not only this life, but all lifetimes. And for kickers, it plays it back on occasion. Plays it back. You could be driving along, you could be taking a walk, you could just be sitting somewhere, doing nothing. And this feeling comes in. And it's like, gosh, this is familiar. It seems like I did it before. I know I've done this before. And you have. And the subconscious mind is playing it back from a recording previous. Now, it doesn't mean that you know that. Most people don't. But they get those feelings. Sometimes called deja vu. There's different explanations for it. But that's what it is. Could be another lifetime coming in, that you haven't connected with, and you think it's this lifetime. And so you say, well, yeah, I've done that before. How are you able to do that? You say, I've done it before. I know where, but I know I've done this before. Say, it's quite fascinating to discover. Now, we'll go into the Great Hall. Open the door, turn on a light. Now, when you walk into a room, you're just not, most of the time you don't identify with it, but you'll flash like that. And you'll look at the ceiling and the walls. Well, when you walk into your Great Hall, you do the same thing, but you don't see any ceilings, you don't see any walls because it's so vast. Nonetheless, you will go and you'll pick up some movies and some books and pictures. You sit in an easy chair and you'll see this kind of a white slate rectangle that's floating in the air. And you'll begin to watch some movies, look at some pictures, and read some books. You'll have a great time. And you'll reminisce and nostalgia this and that. But then you don't stay there very long. You take everything, you put it back on the shelf and in the drawers, and you turn off the light, you shut the door, and you walk forward in life, in this life. And then on occasion, yeah, you'll revisit it. But some of us, unconsciously, will stay there so long that we end up taking that past into a future that doesn't exist, create that future from that past, relive that past and that future. That's why a lot of people say, no matter what I do, I always seem to end up here. Now, we all go into the future. Why do we feel compelled at times, I mean, most of us, to go into the future? Well, because, see, in the now, the ego mind is poking and prodding and pulling us, using every trick it's got. Is, come on, you got to find out, you've got to find this out, you've got to know about this. You've got to know about it. And so we'll go in the future and we seek external authorities. You've got psychics, clairvoyants. You've got card readers. You've got tea leaf readers. You've got palm readers. You've got pendulum readers. You've got astrology. You've got numerology. You've got all kinds of opportunities to be read, told what's going to happen for you in the near future, okay? So you'll go to any one of these, and you'll receive information. And it can say, well, in about a week, you're going to come into a windfall of money. And it's going to be substantial enough, it'll take care of you for a very long time. Excuse me. And you, right, wow, that sounds really great. So there's usually about 3 different versions of acceptance of that information. The first person just blows it off, has no confidence, in doubt, just doubts everything. They just blow it off. They throw it in the trash and walk on it. The center person, they're fixated on it. They are literally glued to it, and they mark it in their calendar, and they start counting the minutes, the hours, and the days, and they form expectations and attachments to the outcome of it, right? Like when is this going to happen? When in a week is it going to happen? How is it going to happen? Where is this information going to come from? Where is this money coming from? This wealth. And we will, this person will continually do that. And they'll push it away. Now, the third person will say they'll have total trust in themselves and the universe. No question, no doubt whatsoever. They'll say, that's great. That is going to be wonderful. And they won't attach anything to the outcome, and they won't have expectations. And that intent's there, right, through the heart, mind, and they leave it alone. They're the ones that will manifest. The other two will, the other one, the one that just blew it off, no big deal, but the one that's fixated on it will be very disappointed and suffer. When you put expectations on things and you have attachments to them, you're going to suffer. And when we finally discover that all of our abilities are within this body, all of our power, all of our knowing, all the answers that we have questions that we seek the answers for, all of it has always been within these bodies. And we call that the God source. We call it the higher self, the spirit, the soul, the kingdom of God, the heaven. See, this is what we call it, pure consciousness. So we got a lot of labels for it. Now, we focus on this planet, the gods that we are. And we look at it and we know that it's time to increase our vibrational frequencies collectively and to liberate the planet, because we believe that and feel and know that there is just too much lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, too much pure evil, too many souls that have absorbed too much darkness. And we would like that gone. And we want the vibrational frequencies to increase across the board so that we transcend into a God planet paradise. So we're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one, and we're all God, and we're all love. And our God force love light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, grow, advance, and become stronger every single microsecond. Now, we form a massive circle of white fire light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This emanates from the gods that we are. It's pure, deep, eternal love, the highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies. And it is so bright that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. You could take 1 trillion suns, bunch them all together, and they would pale in comparison to the light that we are, the gods that we are, the pure love that we are. And this is saturating, permeating, and flooding this planet and all life, the highest supreme value in the universes. Everything. Infinity and beyond. No escape. On, in, above, and below. No escape whatsoever. No escape. So we begin to ascend above the planet, and we're immediately met with an ocean of glitter. So we try while in these bodies to depict what this ocean of glitter is like, and we, from experiences on this planet, we'll take a grand finale fireworks display, grand finale laser light show, and the mirrored globe, the ballroom globe, right, where you shine light on it and it floods the room with light. We intensify these at least 1 trillion times, and we combine them all. And in one massive crescendo, it just bursts out. And you see this vivid, clear, sparkling, super bright burst of light. Colors you've never seen before, just spectacular. Pulsating. And this takes us as near as possible to describe the ocean of glitter. We look at the reflective points, which are absolutely everywhere. Trillions of reflective points. They're tiny, microscopic, perfectly etched mirrors. And so we enter them, and we discover that all of us are teaching and learning from each other all the time. Never ends. Teaching, learning, teaching. We're a collective. We're one. The gods that we are in these bodies. Makes sense, doesn't it? So different parts of the God, as we are, teach other parts of the God, and we're all learning and experiencing. It's phenomenal. You remember when you were a kid, and you would look at something and say, I want to be that, right? I know a lot of us did that. I want to be that. I want to be that horse. I want to be that pony. I want to be the rain. I want to be that rainbow. You begin to start to taste through the heart mind. That's what this is all about. These places we create with physical forms of all kinds and types. And we enter those physical forms as the gods we are to experience. This is all this life's about, is experiencing. It isn't forever. We don't know that. These bodies, eventually, we will leave. And we'll move on, maybe to some other kind of physical form. Who knows? But there is one thing that is common across the board. The gods that we are within these bodies are infinite. Infinite. Beyond. Never ceasing. Never. Never ceasing. So you go, okay, say, well, there's gods that inhabit pigs, horses, trees, birds, cows, pets, you name it, blade of grass, leaf on a tree. Literally. And when we begin to understand that, everything's going to shift. Everything. Permanently. And we start to understand that and really fully grasp it through the heart mind. The ego mind is too small to comprehend this. Heart mind understands this. Now we create light, right? We are light, we're love, light, energy. So we create columns of light that remind us, the gods that we are in these bodies, of things. It's like Archangel Raphael carries a brilliant emerald green flaming healing light. We collectively create this light to remind us, all the gods that we are in these bodies, that we, the gods in these bodies, are the power of healing these bodies. And we have Archangel Michael. Now he's carrying a column of light, a violet, blue, purple, flaming light. This has been collectively created to remind all of us, the gods that we are in these bodies, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. Then we have the white fire light. We created this to remind us all, gods that we are in these bodies, the bodies, that we are permanently imbued with a white fire armor, head to toe, inside and out. We are protected 24/7, infinity and beyond. From lower dark matter, 5 matter frequencies, from pure evil, from souls that have been invaded too much by the dark. Many things. They can't hold their state of existence around this higher frequency. So they either vaporize or they leave. But only you have the power. See, because if you don't practice keeping this vibrational frequency high, consciously or unconsciously, you can lower it at any time through greed, revenge, anger, hatred, envy, hurriedness, worry, stress, fear, anxiety, dishonesty, manipulation. You will lower your vibrational frequency low enough to create a breach in your white fire armor, allowing all the lower dark matter, 5 matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then there's all kinds of possibilities. Demon possession, attachments, and all sorts of other things. Now, if you do decide to do this, we have fail-safes, gods that we are in place. So we create this double column of light. First part of the column is purple transmuting flame. This reminds us that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all of these lower dark matter, 5 matter frequencies in a neutralized substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are no more. And the second part of the column is the violet ray. We collectively created this part of the column to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame, cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, 5 matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest. Eternal love, gratitude, peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we, the gods within these bodies, created. That reminds soul that we are the sun. We are the sunlight. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, trees, the forests, the soils, the clouds in the sky, the animals. We're everything. Everything is us. Now, we've been trained to believe in the illusion of separation, so when we see a sunset or sunrise or a rainbow, we say, "Isn't that beautiful? I gotta get my camera. I gotta take a picture." Well, the one truth about it is that it is beautiful because it is you, the God within that body. Now, through the heart mind, and not the ego mind, we know there's no such thing as separation. So we look at it from a different perspective. That is the God that I am. And again, a shift will occur in the heart mind. You'll know it. Not the ego mind, the heart mind. That is the God that I am. Whatever it is you're viewing, that is the God that I am. Now we continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us who are carrying physical form decide to step outside physical form and hover effortlessly above it. The reason we do this is because we can, and it's really fun. And we come in contact with this massive crystalline light tower. We, the gods in these bodies, created this tower, larger than the solar system and beyond. In the center of the column, we discover this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is this humongous golden white ball of light. It, in turn, appears to be surrounded by multicolored rings of light that seem to go to infinity and beyond. This creates this super bright, white, misty cloud, sparkling, flashing, that's absorbed through our heart mind, and it feels like a warm embrace that never ends. We discover that the golden white ball of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Then comes gratitude, well-being, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, massive prosperity, massive abundance. And then we discover that all of that is a reflection of the gods that we are in these bodies. Now, at the top of this tower, we designed it so the golden ocean, the gods that we are, designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, infinity and beyond, flooding all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, this planet, on it, in it, above it, below it, saturating and permeating, no escape. And the golden ocean is pure, deep, eternal love, the highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies. We're all drops of this ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is a drops of the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. Now we view our meditative sphere. It's at center circle. We, the gods in these bodies, created this sphere over 4 years ago. It houses moving towards 1,900 meditations in perpetual motion, accumulated over the course of over 4 years, every day, 7 days a week, sometimes on occasion twice a day. All of us consciously aware, on and off world, meaning that we know that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Now, parts of us, we're asleep. Parts of the gods are. Other parts, awake, consciously aware. No difference. No difference in the gods within each of those physical forms. No difference with the gods in all inhabited physical forms. Archangels, cherubim, seraphim archetypes. Ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. All the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, beneath earth. All of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. All the off-worlders, galactic, celestials, Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Felines, Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilians, Golden Pyramid, Avians, fairies, sprites, elves, gnomes, dwarves, trees, trolls, elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, the mermaids, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, many, many, many more. And the gods within all those forms are part of the gods that we are in our forms. You think about the numbers, okay? Googleplex. One Googleplex fills this universe with not even 1 square inch of sacred space to spare. Trillions of Googleplexes from trillions of universes. Uncountable life. All parts of the God that we are, and we them. Inhabiting forms to experience those forms. Now, when you look at this planet through the heart mind, in meditation, and you're just floating, right? And you plug in, and you look, and you see what's really happening. What are we doing? What are we, the gods in these bodies, doing with this planet? We're liberating it. We are liberating all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. This includes the rogue AI goop, the pure evil goop, souls that have been invaded with too much darkness goop. And it is. It's the blackest of the blackest black goop you've ever seen. And we, the gods in these bodies, created this field in this planet. You can see it. You can walk through it. And it's golden white pink. It has a shimmering quality to it. And it's everywhere. And then you see all of this goop evaporating from the planet. You see it disintegrating as it passes through this golden white pink shimmering atmospheric energy, okay, which is pure deep eternal love. And then we create the sky, which is a super bright golden white pink light that is, you can't look straight onto it because it's so brilliant. So as this dark matter, this goop, evaporates from the planet, you'll see it as it's flickering away, as it disintegrates as it passes through. And then any of it that gets to the sky in one flash is completely vaporized and no more. This is what we're doing. Now, what does that do? Increases the vibrational frequency. As the more lower frequencies are vaporized, through our continued increase in our vibrational frequencies, which means more love for ourselves, more surrender, more complete embrace of the love that we are, and forgiveness, and gratitude, and gentleness, and kindness, and generosity, and humbleness. All of these energies are higher frequencies. And these lower dark matter elements cannot sustain themselves. They're caught, and they're being vaporized. With what? Love, which is the highest supreme value in the universe, which is life. And as we watch, it continues to intensify, it continues to expand, it continues to grow more and more and more. Now, is it going to end after the planet is liberated? No, it's going to continue. We will continually choose to increase our vibrational frequencies at different levels of love, way beyond romantic love, way beyond. And this planet will become more and more and more God planet paradise. And we will increasingly enter into new dimensional frequencies. This is how it's done. For today, get out a pen and paper, and for 20 minutes, sometime today, write down everything that you appreciate about yourself. Small or big does not matter. Just keep writing these positive statements down. Then choose the top 3 most emotionally moving appreciations on your list. And sit down and feel these ideas inside your body. And notice where you keep them inside. Post your list on a wall where you can read it and add to it any time in the future. Whatever you discover, revisit it again and again and again throughout the day. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. an easy breath in slowly through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out the mouth. Be still. Finding inner peace, being alone, is the gateway to freedom and is the foundation of every spiritual awakening. So I invite you to take this day to be completely alone and relaxed, or any day this week. Find a quiet, peaceful place where you can simply be yourself and discover a deeper state of peace inside. Eat healthy foods, take a nap, meditate, go for a long walk every day. Learn the sacred art of relaxation. Rest in your innermost being and enjoy the experience. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. And we'll be back here tonight at 9 p.m. for our Time for Change call. And Thursday, January 30th, or June 30th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our Global Guided Meditation call.